and welcome everyone. I'm your host, Coach Molly from Three Pines Leadership, and welcome to another episode of the Lifelong Podcast. Woo! To be completely honest with everyone, I have nothing really planned for today in terms of things to talk about today. I usually have something written up. I usually have an idea, at least, of what I want to talk about. But today, honestly, all I want to do is tell you about what I've been working on and the amazing summit that I have coming up for all of you guys. So remember, if you want to join me, you can. Find me on all of my socials. But the most important one, for those of you watching either the live stream or watching this video later on, watch that link at the bottom of the page here, www.leadershipmade.com. That's where you can sign up for a free ticket to the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit. It is going live on July 13, 14, and 15. It'll be 3 days of amazing motivation, inspiration, and so much more. So make sure that you sign up because there are a limited number of spaces available for the live presentation. So leadershipmade.com and you can get your free tickets. Invite all of your friends, invite all of your family. Hello, and hello to everyone watching and everyone in the chat. It's fun to be here. All right, well, let's actually get into a little bit more about what's happening at the summit. So it's 3 days long, as I mentioned. The first day is all about resiliency. It's all about those stories of overcoming obstacles, of pushing through, pushing past our barriers, the kind of people who, kind of accept that life is that life throws us nonsense sometimes, and life throws us challenges, but the idea is that you can bounce back. And so at the summit, we're going to hear some amazing stories from people who have overcome these incredible obstacles in their life and have turned their life around and shone their light on the rest of the world. So I'm so excited for day one of the summit. Now, day two of the summit, on the other hand, is going to be all about mindset. And it's all about the tools and tips and strategies that you need to take control of your mind, to take control of your thoughts, so that you can harness the full power and potential that you have inside of you. Because day three is all about turning that momentum and turning that inspiration into impact. It's about stories of people who are giving back to their communities in a variety of different ways. I have some incredible speakers lined up. I'm so excited for you to meet them. So make sure that you sign up at leadershipmade.com, and it's free. And the best part is, just between you and me, the best part about this whole summit is it's happening online, which means that you don't need to wear any pants. Heck, you can show up completely in your birthday suit for all I care. You can get dressed up to the nines. I don't care. I just want you to show up because there's so much value that you're going to get at the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit. So make sure you sign up. If you have forgotten where to go, it's leadershipmade.com. But in the meantime, hang out with me on all of our other platforms as well. I love to get to know you all. But yes. Oh, okay. So let me tell you about what's been happening the last couple weeks while I've been chatting with all of these incredible speakers. So we have one speaker who is Danielle Brown. So she is a 5-time world champion. She has 2 Paralympic gold medals under her belt. She spent her entire career undefeated. And that just, first of all, that part of her resume, totally inspirational. The lessons and the knowledge that she's sharing with you about that part of her life, incredible. So much value there for you. But also, after her sporting career ended, and the way that it ended, and what that caused her, the way that it caused her to have to shift her thinking is absolutely remarkable. And what she's done with her life after that, she's changing the world, everybody. She's changing the world, and she's joining us as one of the incredible speakers at the summit. And also, you're going to hear from Connie and Andy Benjamin from My Fire Within, and they are going to light you up like you've never been lit up before. To me, they are 2 of the most inspirational people. And they're not just fluffy, inspirational people, let me tell you. They have real, tangible, process and system based approach to living the life you've always wanted, to having the kind of impact you've always wanted. It's about alignment. It's about looking, not fluffy looking for abundance, but it's actually about bringing abundance into your life. And these two, oh, believe me, days 1 and 2, you're going to be lit up with these two. Oh, I'm also going to be talking to some amazing people who are doing incredible work in their community. And I'm also going to be sharing with you a presentation from the past from someone who has made a really big impact on my own life. The way that they have approached their activism and their work within the community totally changed my life's trajectory. And so I'm going to share with you their story as well at the summit. So that's going to be really, really excited. I'm really looking forward to that as well. Oh, what else? What have I learned? I've learned in this process that you definitely, when you have an idea, I call them wild ideas, the ideas that just pop into your head. And before you allow yourself to cut down the ideas, before you allow yourself to say, no, I can't do that for X, Y, or Z reasons, before you can do any of that, let your wild ideas run wild. Let them come in and let them play around in your head so you can see what they look like. And then I like to take my wild ideas to the next level, and I like to share them with people, and I like to bounce these ideas off other people, because if the wild idea in my head resonates with someone else, and there's that synergy between what I want to have, what the kind of change I want to see in the world, and if someone else resonates with that and it resonates with their passion and their mission, oh man, the kind of changes you can have in the world are just remarkable. And so from this project, I've definitely learned to let those wild ideas run wild, to bounce them off of other people, and to constantly give value to people. What I've learned from working with the different speakers who are coming to the summit is I could write books on that. What I've learned in terms of running a summit and organizing something on that side from the business perspective, fantastic. I'm going to be doing a proper summary in the Three Pines Leadership Group later on in July. If you're interested in learning more about running a summit in your own business or your own community work, for sure, definitely let me know if you want to be part of that. I've also learned a ton about community and impact through speaking with these community leaders and what it means to give back on so many different levels, from people who are working in their neighborhoods and working with their neighbors to give childcare, to help out in their communities on that micro level, all the way up to people who are working on international scales, people who are working with incredible amounts of power and authority behind them, to see that huge scale, but to see that the bottom line, the similarity between all of these speakers on day 3 is all about value. It's all about understanding your core values and how you can bring those about and how you can manifest them into change in your community. One of our speakers on day 3 is Jessica Rivera Belsham from Kingston, Ontario, and she has created this amazing community through her work in drumming and traditional drumming, and she shares her traditional stories and music and creates such an incredibly welcoming community for people of all different backgrounds to come together and to share in that spirit of the drum. And so she's joining us to share that incredible story as well. We're also going to be joined by someone who I have looked up to for many, many years. He runs, or did run, the Toronto Poetry Slam, Dave Silverberg. So I met him back when I was in high school, because when I was becoming a social because I was a spoken word artist back then, and my high school teacher at the time challenged me by saying that spoken word is not poetry. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll prove you wrong. So that caused me to dive head deep into the scene, and to become part of the community. And one of the leaders in the community, one of the people who was creating space, and not only a physical space, like we'd all go once a month down to the same location to be together, but he also created such a welcoming environment in the greater community as well. And so I've always looked up to him. And I took the chance a couple weeks ago and reached out to him and asked if he'd be interested in participating. And he's totally interested. So I have the honor of getting to talk to him later today and recording that session for the summit. I'm so excited to record it myself. And I hope that you'll enjoy it. And I hope you'll get a ton of value out of that as well. The whole point of this summit is to create momentum and to inspire people to realize that the challenges in front of us in the moment, yeah, they're challenging, they're hurdles, and they're hard to get over. But at the same time, when we get over them, when we stop thinking so far in the future, we focus on being present in the moment and we get ourselves through those challenges. When we're on the other side of them, we can look back and see, holy camoli, look at how far that I've come. Look at what I've learned through that challenge about myself, about others, about the world around me, about my community. And it doesn't stop there, my friends. It doesn't. It continues forward. You take that momentum and you use the tools that you're going to learn on day 2 about your mindset so that you can continue that momentum, so that you can continue to see the world in a way that will propel you, in a way that will fill you up with energy and push you forward to greatness. It sounds super cheesy. I know. But really, when you start doing these simple things, and you can do them in your bathroom, you can do them. We hear from Olivia on during the summit, who talks about when she started doing some of these practices, she didn't want to do them even by whispering in her bathroom because maybe her roommate might find out. So instead, she found space in her car. You find a place where it's just you, where you feel comfortable to sing in the shower, like that kind of a feeling. Find those spaces and start using some of the practices that you're going to be learning on day 2 about your mindset so you can really harness that power. You start to see things differently when you look through those different perspectives. You start to see the challenges in your life, either the ones you've gone through before or the ones that are in front of you or the ones that you're deep in right now. You start to see them differently, and you start to see them in a way that they are opportunities for growth rather than being an obstacle, a barrier, or a stop sign. My friends, there is so much you're going to learn when you sign up for the Mindset and Impact Summit. So make sure you sign up today. leadershipmade.com. It's absolutely free. Invite your friends, invite your families, invite the young change makers in your life and in your community. These messages need to be heard. This idea that we can overcome our obstacles and turn our mess into our message and make a difference. It's not just hoity-toity voices in the air. It's actually something that you can do. And the people who are speaking at this summit have started to implement those in their life. We're hearing from people who have just started on this journey and people who are professionals who are training people on their journeys. There's so much to get. I promise there is someone at this summit whose story you will resonate with. There is someone speaking at this summit whose message you need to hear. And you can hear them for free. The summit's free. The point is, I want these messages to be heard. It's not all about making money at this point. It's about having an impact. It's about making a difference. It's about changing the world. There's so much shakeup happening right now. Everything is unstable. Everything is up in the air. And people feel unsure. People feel overwhelmed. People are feeling like they have no control over what's going on. And really, we're at this amazing opportunity in the world when people are mad, people are upset, people feel that dis-ease inside of them. They feel this disalignment with their values and the way that they're forced to live. So let's actually do something with that feeling. Let's turn that into something positive. You ever felt nervous before? Like butterflies in your stomach, that kind of nervous before? In our brains and in our bodies, what's actually happening to cause us to feel that way is the exact same thing that's happening when we feel excited. We've just named it something different. We've just decided that this set of circumstances is going to be seen in more of a negative light, and we're going to call this feeling nervousness. But instead, let's harness that. Let's harness those feelings of discomfort and realize that that's a signal that something needs to change. And the world has changed many times in the past over different cultures and centuries and in different environments, but it's changed because we as human beings have decided to make that change. We as human beings have decided to do something about it. And yeah, we can say like, oh, there's people who have bound together and they're changing the world for the worse. Yeah. So let's bind together and do something for the better. Let's overpower them. Let's outnumber the people who are trying to change the world for the worse. I hear your voices out there. I hear the pain. So let's find a way to reach inside and harness that potential and harness that power, and let's do something about it. Let's take some time to celebrate the people who are coming together in their communities and making a difference. And it does not matter how big or small of an impact you're making. Every little step matters. I think of it like a river. I love geography, and one of the most interesting stories I've heard in the last year, I was down in Chile and Argentina in South America. Down in Patagonia, where the mountains are wild and huge and beautiful. And one thing they were telling us about was how did they come up with the dividing line between Chile and Argentina? Because Patagonia as a region was once just one big space. There was no division on either side. And what they decided was that they were going to make the dividing line based on the highest mountains. Originally, before they decided on that, what they were going to do was look at where the rivers went. And any of the rivers that went to the west would be part of Chile, and any of the rivers that went to the east would be part of Argentina. And this young cartographer decided to challenge that assumption. And he said, but you can't set a permanent boundary on that of a river because rivers can change. And we've seen, those of you who are old enough, you've seen rivers change direction in your lives. You've seen them change the way that they meander through erosion and whatnot. That's like our lives. As we go through our lives, we will naturally change a little bit here and there. But you can drastically change the course of a river. And by extension, if you were defining your borders of your country based on the direction of that river, you would be changing the politics of that country. You'd be literally changing the map. So this is what this young cartographer did. Over the course of a couple of weeks, he gathered together a group of people and they changed the direction of a river. And they had it flowing from one ocean to the west to going into the Pacific Ocean changing from the Atlantic Ocean on the east to going through to the Pacific Ocean on the west. And they did that stone by stone. So I bring this back to talking about making change, my friends, and that's because I want you to think of each of those moments of impact that you have on your community. I want you to think about those as a stone. It doesn't matter how big or small that stone is, but if each of us continue to bring those stones of change to the riverside, we will change the direction of that river, and we will change the direction of history. I know, I sound crazy. I sound like I've lost my mind, but I'm completely serious about this. If you look back in history, it is people who have been brave enough to make a difference who have made the difference in the world. So be brave. Reach out to your neighbors. Say hello to people when you pass them in the street. Have eye contact. I've really noticed having eye contact is an amazing thing, especially now because so many people are wearing masks. We can't see our beautiful smiles behind many of them. And it's hard to see when someone's smiling with their eyes, but if you make that eye contact, you hold your head up tall, and you nod to your neighbor, and you have that pleasant type of body language, that is going to create a ripple. That, my friends, is a stone. That, my friends, is a moment of impact. Doesn't matter if it's small, if it's an interaction between you and your child, or if it's an interaction between you as the leader of a country. Change is in all of our hands. And so I encourage you to do something about that, to harness the potential that you have and to make a difference in this world. And I'd really encourage you to join me at the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit. Again, you can find me on all of my social platforms, but most importantly, I'd really, really, really love if you join me at the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit. You can get your tickets for free, absolutely free. Leadershipmade.com. That's the link at the bottom of this lovely screen here. Leadershipmade.com. You can get your tickets for free. So invite your friends, invite your family, invite your kids. It's a family-friendly event. Invite the changemaker in your community. If you're a teacher and you know young people who might want to hear this message, if you know a friend of yours who's feeling a bit bummed out and needs a little bit of inspiration in their life, a little bit of stir in some sugar of life into their coffee, this is the event for you. There's so much that's going to be happening over these 3 days. I'm so excited that you can join us. And the cool thing about the format of this summit is that all of the videos for day 1 are going to be available for 24 hours. So you have all day. Doesn't matter if you're at work or if you're juggling the kids or if you want to take a walk during the middle of the day, you can. You can schedule your day. At 9 a.m. Eastern, you'll see all of the videos for day 1 and you can watch them over the next 24 hours. And then at 9 a.m. on the next day, all of those videos will disappear and they'll be replaced with everything from day 2. And after day 2's done, those will come down and they'll be replaced with day 3. So it's really like we're coming together at the same time for this awesome event. And we can keep that conversation going on all of the social platforms that I've already listed a couple of times here. Oh, my friends, it's been so wonderful chatting with you all today. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, you can head on over to, all of the different places to find me. So we have the Business Building Book Club, both as live streams on Fridays and as podcasts. So the Friday episode will be released the following Tuesday as the podcast. We also have this, the Lifelong Podcast, of course, and we have this as a live stream and a podcast. You can find our Monday morning show that we do where we cover some of the interesting highlights from the week in terms of news, stuff I grab off of Twitter, because now I like Twitter. And you can also find us on Thursdays. I release a focus music mix about 30 minutes long to help you find some time to focus in on whatever's most important in your life. You can use them for journaling, you can use them for meditations or relaxing, or you can use them just as background music while you get some other stuff done around the house or at work. Lots of options for you there. So there's lots of places that you can come hang out with me. I love to chat with you guys. I love to get to know you guys. So join me at the Mindset and Impact Virtual Summit, July 13, 14, 15. You can get your tickets at leadershipmade.com. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Until next time, remember, I love you and be excellent to